So we got an exciting show that we're about to get into with our sister, Sasha Grace. And on this show, well, let me just give you some background on her. Okay, how about that? That'll be better. Let me see here. What do we got? What do we got? Where's she at? Sasha Grace. Oh, there she is. So Sasha Grace is a multidimensional psychic healer and life coach. She's a singer, a vocal coach, an artist, and a dancer. I'm going to stop there. The rest of it's in the post. And the reason I wanted to read that part, because she's a, oh, here she is. She's a singer, and we're going to, uh-oh, what was that? Oh, that's the mic on your, okay. Everyone's here. We're going to let people get in. Your mic, okay, hang on. Do you still have the interface connected?
Can you hear me?
No, you're okay.
Just
Yeah, there's something wrong. So here's what I would do. Here's what I would do.
It's all right. It's all right. So it's 1 second.
Okay, keep going. Victoria, Australia's in the house. Let me see who else is in the house. Keep doing. You're a musician. You'll figure it out. If you don't, I'll tell you what to do. That's not controlling. I've done it for so long. Why do I have this? Amanda Lowe's says such a gorgeous goddess. Bo James. Oh. Bo James. I think Bo James is in Australia, if I'm not mistaken. Bo James does some rapping. Deborah Pillardi. Charlene Wall. Okay, let me get on the page so I can see all the comments because I can't see them. You still working on it?
Yeah, Sasha it's Grace? Not letting me. Hang on.
Yeah.
So, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's your but it's your computer microphone, I can tell.
Okay, all right.
So I would take this, I would plug it into your computer because it'll serve as your microphone and your hearing. And
that's
then I would
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but you're on the computer microphone.
I am.
That's and actually, it doesn't sound bad. It doesn't sound bad.
Okay, all right. Well, how about we just go with that then?
Yeah, if you're going to be like as close as you are now, or if your voice is loud, then you'll be okay. Back there, you'll be okay.
My voice is very loud.
That's okay, man. That's all right. God, man, I need to get my shift together. Okay, let's see here. I mean, I've been doing these shows and sleeping and eating, and that's all, and a couple other things, which I won't get into. But it's just the way I go through this thing. But man, I need to like shave and wash my clothes. We're just going to be transparent here. We're just going to be transparent.
You're actually looking really good, Todd.
Oh my God, I don't feel good. Well, I don't feel bad. I just feel like a wolf man. Oh, I actually have this. You know what? We're going to play around today, so I actually have this. I don't know if you. Oh, shoot. Let me turn this off. Okay, so that's working. We got 48 people in the house.
I'm just going to turn this light out that's behind me because it's a little bit distracting. 1 second.
Okay. So, yeah, we're going to play around today. Not play around. Sasha Grace actually has she has a song. She's a singer. Monique Hendry says they can't smell me. I know, man. It's crazy. Like when Morgan leaves, I don't bathe for like days. I'm just like, it's just, you got to get back to the roots sometimes. So, okay, let me say hi to a few people. Yvonnya, Monique's in the house. Gaia Sisto, Robert Evans, Nasia Sia, Bo James, who's more of a rocket than a rapper. But music I love. Ann Killick, Susan Keatley, Angel Divine, Jenny Williams, Charlene Drake, Mary Lou, Jeremy Lastman will be here tomorrow. Bo James, I said that. Barbara Dietz, Robert Evans. Okay, so we got 50 plus people in the house. I was telling everybody that you wrote a song, right? And
yes.
You're going to actually debut it on this show. And I'm going to say, since Todd didn't have his shift together and he was astral traveling when we connected and we were supposed to get this part worked out, I apologize. But you know what? This is the way it is. The more raw it is, the better. So
free fall.
What I'm say is we'll get together and we can do this. I've done it with other people. I produced a bunch of stuff, and I've produced my own stuff, and I get the pieces and I put them together on the production software. And I'd love to do that. I'm gonna do it with Romeo Barron and his light language rap. And yeah, I want to start getting back into that. That's a big part of what
I'd love to do that with you. That would be so much fun.
So cool. And I want to, and I actually have this. I wrote about like 250 of these Soul Speaks, and I did about 75 of them to music. And most of them are one takes because I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience to like work a song out. I just put the music on and I just rap it or melody or whatever comes out. Well, I have this one that's really badass, really, really like it is, and I wouldn't say that.
And I did about 75.
Oh my God, that's
most of them are
trippy. But I've always thought that a woman, I could hear a woman's voice singing, right? So maybe we could do that. Maybe we could.
You know what? This world is opening up in the most incredible ways right now. So I'm all up for all of it.
Isn't it? Isn't it opening up? Oh, no wonder I couldn't see it. I had the thing on wrong. Okay, I'm a half out of it. Welcome, Jacinta Tongia, Stephen Kerr, Anna Irina, and Monique says, "Yeah, raw and authentic." That's
hi, darling. Hey, Jacinta.
There's a lot of the people here. They must be your friends. So this is the second time that we've gotten together. The first time was really cool. I thought we had a conversation, but she says that I just, was like asking about her and all that stuff. But I think it was a really cool show. I had a good time with it, and I think this is going to be good too. So I'm going to throw it at you. I'm not going to even roll the show out. You just take over. All right.
What would you like me to talk about? Give me some direction here.
Oh, you want me to give you some direction? Well,
yeah, I've just completely dedicated this call to spontaneity. So.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'd love to talk about a couple of things, which we've been talking about, because everything's real time. That's where the real intel is, And one of those things is, well, the one that's really in my face right now. I'd love to get your perspective. I can't even get my words out. Is like this masculine energy is like landed. And when I say masculine, I don't mean male. I mean the masculine in all of us, because as I understand it, as I learn from people on this show and other people I interact with, the masculine energy is the dreamer, the plan maker, but also the one that's saying it's time for us to own up to what we're here for and step into our roles, right?
Mm.
I don't know. Are you feeling that? Just out here in left field.
Yeah, I'm what I'm experiencing now is wow. I'm experiencing embodiment, and for the first time in my life, and I guess I wouldn't have known what that was until I was here. And if you just have a look behind me, I did this painting on.
You're a painter too. Wait. Are you talking about the blue thing or the?
Yeah, all of it. But,
is that a statue next to it with the little person on it?
It's a little dude. It's either a she or a he. I think it's meant to be kind of ambiguous on that level, so that
is that part of the painting, or is that a sculpture in front of it?
No, this is a painting that I did.
Okay. Here, hang on. Let me make it bigger. Let me make it bigger. What in the is that? What is that? When did you do that? Yeah, we can see it. I got it on. I got you maximize and me minimize. Okay. What is that thing?
So this is let me see if I can just
I got the whole thing on there now. You're good.
Perfect.
Yeah. I took my face off.
So this I was going through. I was kind of hit with the dark night of the soul. I think like a lot of us were towards the end of last year. And I thought I had kind of nutted out and dealt with I'm just going to be straight up with this, my depression. Like I hadn't actually been scathed by it for about 3 years, whereas previously I'd felt very under attack. Like I was constantly, you know, the reptilians were trying to take my life for a lot of my life.
Man. I know, man.
Yeah, right.
They came to see me a few times. They got me.
Right. I literally had one jump on my car physically.
Man,
and
I had them do a lot of really bad things to me.
Oh, wow. No, I think that's the thing. We don't want to give it too much energy, but and so it felt like there was a last punch for them towards the end of last year. And for me, I think I got it maybe just before a lot of people that I know. I seem to get things beforehand, and maybe it's because I'm a forerunner or something. And I had 4 weeks of this, and you know, there were big wounds that were coming up to do with my son who doesn't speak to me, and my mother who's got my son, and it was this pain that I just didn't know where to place. You know, this grief, this deep grief I didn't know what to do with, and it, no matter where I tried to put it, I couldn't find a spot for it. And so I feel like it did feel like an external attack on some level, because I do know this energetic. It was coming up in goosebumps in my body, and I was like, oh my God, it's here. And I was like, this is, you know, I know what this is. This is like a last grab, you know, before we go and skyrocket, you know. And so I desperately had to, I had to just desperately try and hold on to stay here. And because every day I'd wake up, it was trying to get me to take my life. Like, it was really intense. And so,
wow, that's deep, man.
Yeah, it was very intense. And so I, at Christmas time and at New Year's, when everyone was out partying, I decided to paint this vision that had come to me 2 weeks before, which was very, very clear. It was this little dude, and he looks like this, he, she, I don't know, with this, he's holding a, you know, one of those things that you blow. What are they called again?
Dandelion?
A dandelion, thank you. I should know this.
Is it a dandelion? I just guessed.
Mine is going blank a lot at the moment.
Man, how the hell am I? You know, this is crazy. This telepathy thing is happening. Well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So was this January? I mean, New Year's Eve. Well, like this last New Year's Eve.
This was just this last New Year's Eve. So,
okay, so let me just say this. Holy fuck. Okay, excuse my French, but it's been a long run of shows. But this is amazing, because something really, really powerful went down. Some people said 11/11, but I think it was the winter solstice, which would have been around the 22nd. And then when the first came, wow, you know, so this is what you got out of it. Now, have you done a lot of painting?
Yeah, I've always been able to do it.
Okay.
And so, and a lot of the times I do portraiture. I love drawing people and painting people. And so, yeah, so as I was going through this process, I literally, one day I woke up and I just didn't know if I was going to be able to stay on the planet. And I rang my only friend that I felt could hold space for me in this. And I said, look, I don't know what to do. I really need your help. And she came round, actually. I'm just going to talk about this online, but she came round with some peyote, which I'd never experienced. Yeah, I'd never experienced it before.
That's good shit.
And, yeah, and so she said, I'm just going to leave you with this. And I had this stuff, and funnily enough, it was incredibly mild. You know, like it was milder than doing cannabis or anything like that. And I lay down for 2.5 hours, and when I got up, I just decided to walk to town. And on the way to town, out the back here, there's all these beautiful trees and grass, and there were all these beautiful colored leaves. And something just drew me in, and I just sat down and I started making this sun with these leaves. And I just felt so in love and so at home all of a sudden. And a part of me was like, hang on a second, I used to do this stuff all the time. When, you know, when I was out in nature, I would just create, just like the child, I would just create. And over that span of 4 weeks, she had just gone back into a cage. That child in me had become caged, and, you know, the seriousness of life had come in, and the seriousness of life had come in. And so I went through a process. I walked to town. I came back, and I think peyote, the thing about it is it's quite subtle. Like, it didn't feel like much was going on, but there was heaps of stuff going on. And then I was shown my father, who I had seen on a rare event, because I'd see him once every 3 or 4 years for maybe a day. And I was showing him, and he, again, I think I told you before, he's an esoteric healing teacher. He was. Yeah. And I said to him, "Are you happy?" And I remember him saying, "Well, what is happy, Sasha?" with his Greek voice. And so they just kept showing me that. And then they showed me that depression was actually in the father's bloodline. And I had not just taken on my own depression, but I'd taken on his, and I'd taken on how he was treated by my mother, and I was treated in a very similar way, invalidated basically, but not all the time, but he got treated like that after an event, and then I'd taken that on through the bloodline, and in that there was a belief under that. I can't quite remember what it was, but it was something about life, like life is hard, or I can't remember what it was, but they showed me the belief. I went in with Kiara Kora, we went into my solar plexus and we released the betrayal and the pain and all of that stuff, and we cleared the belief, and we cleared that through his bloodline. And I knew from that second it is completely gone from my system, completely gone. So that was the journey outward. Now, this painting was really interesting because this was my coming out of that. I just started painting this. It was all I could do. Everyone was out partying, and I was at home.
Did you have something in mind, or did it just come out?
Yeah, no, the vision had come to me very strongly. Not this part, but the child. Very galactically, a couple of weeks ago, with holding that dandelion and him saying, "Make a wish," you know. And
amazing, man. It's just like mind blowing. It is. So, it's mind blowing. And then to the left of it, that looks like some kind of off planet sacred geometry.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I think these creations, you know, they're almost, we do them, but they're I don't really have ownership of this. Just like my songs, you know, they come from a bigger place, and I'd done him, and that was all, or her, whoever he is, and at the time, actually, what was happening to me was I'd met a girlfriend a few days before, and she was talking about the blue avians, and I had no idea who the blue avians were. We didn't even further that conversation. I knew you would spin out at this because I heard one of your interviews. So we didn't even further that conversation. Now, what happened to me was really weird. When I was painting this, they started speaking to me, and I didn't even know who the blue avians were. I had to look them up, and I found out, obviously, they're the bird tribe, and the bird tribe were with me, and they were directing me on how to do this. Here's a little blue avian. This is something they showed me. And then after I painted him, I put that up on its own on Facebook, and I got all these likes, and I thought, okay, well, that's it. And then something said to me when I was looking at the painting one day. I had a pastel, and my hand just went. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. And I looked at it, and I was like, I have to do that. Even though I'm now attached to the way that the painting looks aesthetically, I have to paint that in. So then I painted it in. So back to what you were talking about before. What we're coming to is this. This is the new crystalline energy, apparently, that I created, or that I was a part of creating. And the embodiment, and I want to talk about this embodiment because this has to do with the balancing of the masculine and the feminine, yes, that we know that we're doing now, of the divine masculine, divine feminine. So the lead up with this was I had spent about 8 or 9 months. I'd been shown, okay, where do I start? Let's take a deep breath. It started off, I was doing Qigong. This is about a year ago. And I was calling in sky energy, earth energy. And then all of a sudden, this huge blue Merkaba appeared in front of me. And it was enormous. And there was just this beautiful stillness and this Merkaba. And I was like, whoa. And I brought it into my body, and I brought it through my body, and as that happened, there was a little Merkaba that was created in each chakra. So from then on in, I was shown to begin to meditate on the divine masculine triangle in my heart and the divine feminine triangle in my heart. And that was now, I started doing it probably about a year ago. And so then what that did, I noticed very specifically, was created a very express version of what we're doing here on the planet, which is cleaning out the toxic masculine energy, the toxic feminine energy. And because I've got all these amazing tools, I can go, all right, so this boy's coming up, right, let's switch that off. So this identity is coming up, let's switch that off, right? So I can do these things really quickly because I've got these amazing tools to work with. And so after that, about 4 months ago, which we spoke about in the last interview, I feel that that was the preparation for this huge embodiment of Kiara Kora coming through, this galactic being that I spoke about in the last interview, who speaks light language and now works with me, with my clients.
What's the name of the being?
Kiara Kora.
Kiara Kora. Okay.
Yeah. So
Kiara Kora is a galactic being. Is it blue avian?
No, she's not blue avian. She's about 60% Pleiadian and 40% Arcturian. Okay. And she's me. She's my original starseed before I incarnated onto Earth. And so I work in the Galactic Council. And funnily enough, since our first interview a couple of days ago, I don't know if you remember me speaking about this, but I told you that I had a meeting with an Arcturian. Do you remember this? I know you've done so many interviews.
On the interview? I don't.
On the interview, yes, that's where we've been getting to know each other. Yeah.
Refresh my memory. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember I said we created a portal, and I had all these alien beings around me, and then this portal was created. Yeah. And I was in communication with an Arcturian, who I'd assumed was a male, but in a meditation a couple of days ago, she came through, and her name is actually Vita, and she is a female. So.
Another aspect of you?
No, but she works with me up there. And it was very interesting because in the conversation I was trying to get all my, little human questions out, which were, are we friends? And she said no. And then I found out, well, it's not about friends there. It's not, no one's friends there, because they're all just love. So they don't have the definitions that we do. It's all just love. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they don't have those definitions. So yeah. And she was interesting. She was speaking about I've got it here. I won't read the whole thing, but she was speaking about quite a few things. And she was also speaking about the solar flash that is on its way.
Let's talk about that in a minute. I can still see it. I had to make myself normal again because I keep looking at that thing, and I can't. I got like the stream of consciousness going here, one going over here. And it's just in my mind, Damn, that's just like crazy cool.
Yeah.
So okay, so keep going. We were going to refer.
No, just to finish that conversation about the blue avians. They started appearing all around me in the form of humans. And I went to a party and there was like heaps of them. And one guy even had like feathers on his head and he had birds on his chest. And
what are you talking about? You mean the people?
They were real people, but what's going on right now is the memory of the blue avians is now appearing for the first time ever. They've kept themselves very, very hidden for a long time.
are they in the human vehicle and they're just starting to come out?
A lot of them are, yes.
Okay, so let me just say two things, okay, because this is freaking me out. This is freaking me out. I never knew anything galactic at all, okay? And this would have been going back a couple of years. But the first one was Blue Avian, and it was like, it went on 2016, 2017, and it was Blue Avian, and it was like all in my face, and I didn't really even know what to make of it, you know, because I don't get it like some of you do. I mean, it just was just like there.
Todd,
Yes.
Can I interrupt you for a second? We are being slammed by a storm. I'm really hoping that the Wi-Fi holds up, but I'm going to have to close all my doors and windows so I can hear you.
Yeah.
Are you able to entertain people for 1 second? And I will be there. I'm sorry. Give me a moment, okay? Thank you.
So let's look at this picture again. Hang on. Let's look at this picture. What is that? Holy crap. I mean, look at that. And it's not a coincidence that it's raining, right? It's not a coincidence that the storm comes in. There's some powerful energy going on right now. So, yeah, I was just telling her that, so that's the first thing I got for like a few months is Blue Avian. And the Blue Avian, I'm going to wait till she gets back. But I had this Blue Avian thing going on for like 6 months. And then what ended up happening was there was this whole connectivity, and it went Blue Avian, Blue Hopi, Kachina, the Hopi, the blue star, you know, Kachina. And there, my grandmother came in. And she said, "This is the lineage, or this is the story." And then there was another part involved, which I can't remember what it was, some type of like Tibetan thing. I don't remember. That was the first one, was a Blue Avian. Now, fast forward to the last couple of days, and I hadn't said anything about it to anybody, but the Blue Avian thing is coming back the last couple of days. And today, Sasha, I'm sitting here looking at my hands, and I'm sitting here looking at them after one of the shows, and I'm like, what the hell's going on with my hands? They look like it's galactic. My hands are going galactic. Like, is my skin just like changing? My hands are all like weird looking, you know? They almost look like they got, I don't want to say it, like little feathers on them. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on.
So just about the energy that came through with them, because wow, we're really getting slammed with the storm here.
I can hear it.
Yeah. So they stuck around me for a couple of weeks, and it was such a divine energy. It was like, tell me if you can't hear me. It was like this.
I think it's still coming through your computer. Did you replug it in, or did you have it plugged in? You're okay. Keep going. Don't worry about it.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Bradley says, "No more weed for you, Todd." I don't have any. I wish I did.
Yeah, they stuck around me, and it was like this beautiful. Whoa! Did you hear that thunder?
Look, that's not a coincidence. Wait a minute. Hang on a second.
Oh my God!
Man, what is going on here? What is happening here?
What's happened? I'm hoping
like
that
rain's starting to come down, man. I don't
it is there too?
Okay, so keep going. So the Blue Avians hung around with you for a while, and
they did, and the energy of them was so divine. I would wake up and I would feel this. It was like this warmth. How do I explain it? It was like this warmth of the Father. It was masculine, but it was pure joy. It was like my child was being held. So it was like they have this childlike joy, this essence, which I feel is very much this energy here. And I feel it's very much what we're walking into as we become this embodiment of this divine masculine and feminine energy. Because obviously as we begin to really clean that up, we're starting now to become really really healthy. I'm being guided to say wholeful, which doesn't even make sense, but whole parents to our inner child, so that we can really leap and live in joy in this next 5D, which you know, the whole program has been about caging that child and putting that child down and out, so we don't create, we don't become powerful. You know, it's the creativity that they're really scared of, and I think that's why I had a lot of reptilian attack all through my life, because I know that when I create and when I sing or when I paint or when I dance, it's one of the most powerful, you know, forms of anything that we can be doing, because it activates coding, you know. And
that's exactly right.
And it creates light in places that no one can stop it. It's unstoppable. So the only thing they can do is that they tried to do was to try to stop us. They tried to stop me in my gut with systemic candida, with chronic fatigue, with obviously with depression. But they got very clever, and they started really trying to control me in my gut. So I had to clear, you know, all the beliefs out that were to do with attack or any of that stuff, plus all the rest. So that, I mean, now I just, yeah, thanks, Monique, beautiful. Yeah, but you know, there's no room for them now. I just give them love. You know,
they're not the force that they were, or that energy is not the force that it was. It's just not.
No, it's not there anymore.
I can relate to that because I sustained myself in my creativity for these past 7 years. Now these last year or so has been fairly much easier, but I think what you're saying is true, and I can relate to it, because it's like when you're defensive. It was like when I was in my creativity, I was pure light, you know. And when I wasn't, I was susceptible to being human, being caught in the illusion, and allowing these frequencies to have control, you know, if you want to put it that way. They're disempowered, falling into addictions and you know, things that went with that and all that stuff, you know. So I get that. Yeah.
And can I just say, you know, when I've tuned into you and your beautiful posts that you put up with your music, it sends rushes of love through my whole body toward what you are doing and who you're representing as a being is so much more powerful than I even think that you know. You know, what you're doing here with Soulogy is, I woke up yesterday morning and I was in tears. I was in tears because I had so much overwhelming love for everything right now. And you are such a big part of that, you know, because, you know, after my first interview, I had so many beautiful messages from so many amazing people of Soulogy, and gorgeous poetry that people were sending me, and you know, Gayatri with her beautiful dragons, and I just, you know, it was just like, oh my God, and I don't feel alone anymore.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Look what you've done to one individual. You know, you're opening up our whole world to home. And you're helping to bring us all home in who is around us and our surroundings, and it's just spectacular. So I can't even say the words of the amount of gratitude I have for you.
Yeah,
there's no words to describe it.
Well, I accept.
Good. Yes. Receive.
Marita kind of shook me up, and you know, and it was kind of weird because Marita said the same thing a couple of days ago, and 2 more people did, and then I started to understand what it was, because it's as the individual goes, so it was a collective. I started to understand that it wasn't just for me; it was for everybody. It was the true masculine energy being channeled and coming to me from external, well, from the universe, because anything outside of me is the universe. Sometimes it talks, and sometimes it shows you an image. Sometimes it's a divine feminine like Marita or you or someone talking to you. But what I got is owning your role, owning your divinity, and then drilling down, owning your role, owning your template, you know. And so I was like, I can accept that, because the human me says, hey, wait, I'm not Soulogy, because I'm not. It's a collective thing. It's just a mirror of the universe. But I can certainly own my part, and I can certainly know that what you're saying, all those nights I spent in the studio making music, at 70 out of 75 are one take, and to me, that raw one take with a few flaws, you know, to me that describes the energy that I most resonate with. I don't know why I just said that. But I thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you did receive that.
Yeah, I do receive it, and because we all have to receive it. Because, and I realize we can't be overly modest anymore. We can't be overly humble anymore. Look, a divine feminine frequency and a divine masculine frequency. That is a frequency of power. That is a goddess power, a divinity power. And so we can't play small anymore. We have to be, if we're going to open our hearts to reptilians and every other thing that ever scared us, we certainly can open our hearts to the purest light that can be, set upon us, because that's what we're doing, right? That light wouldn't be coming to us if we weren't putting it out. And the more of us that do that, the more people that will do. It's contagious.
And doesn't it make so much sense now, Todd? You know, like for me, I look back at my life and I understand everything. I understand why it all happened, who I am, what I'm doing here, and why. Because now, oh my God, even as I'm speaking, I'm just filled with so much love and so much gratitude. And to, this, are you still with me, Todd? You've frozen.
No, I'm here.
Oh, you haven't frozen. Okay. No. It's funny because just briefly, I used to have these dreams from when I was like 9 years old of these tidal waves, and I'd be interested to know if anyone else had these dreams too, actually, that's listening in. Tidal waves, yeah. So I used to have the two concurrent dreams were tidal waves and learning to fly or flying. But with these tidal waves, what was happening was I was learning how to deal with these tidal waves in my dream, because I kept having different tidal wave dreams. And I got to a point in my dreams where, over the years of experiencing them, this tidal wave would come through, and I remember going, I know what to do now. I've been trained for this. And I would get everybody and I would lead them up the mountain into safety. And those words, I've been trained for this, have come in so loud and clear, very specifically at this time. It's like, I have been trained for this. All of the shit and the ass and the poo and the bum, excuse my French, that, that and having to let go of everything I love, and trying to just desperately stay here, and and now it's our time, right?
Yes, it is.
The training ground, it's happened. Yeah. And now we are the ones, and I'm speaking to many people as I say this, so many people as I say this, who are here to help lead people up the mountain, because not everyone, a lot of people are still down there dossing near the shorelines of the tidal waves. They don't even know what's going on.
Yeah. Well, and that's the way I look at it, when I would have my discussions with the universe, on my path to being able to accept what abundance being energy, compliments, whatever you want to call it. I would level off by saying, because it would come into me for 7 years, or come into me and say, this is going to be huge. you know, this is going to be gigantic. This is like worldwide. And so I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm just a homeless guy who's got a hole in his heart, and I'm just trying to get my shit together, you know. And all these divine episodes were happening and stuff, but I was very shadowed. But I would say, well, then I heard, it's your turn, you know, like it's your turn. And the universe doesn't give any of us anything that we haven't earned. It really doesn't. You know, it's just not. So I think there is definitely, this is an incredible once in a universe story that many people have come together. I mean, people, psychics, channelers talk about souls being lined up to come to Earth for the experience. And we're on the front edge of it. And this is the energy that I've been feeling, that I got from Marita and a couple other ladies, and from you, and just from my connection, especially last night in Lucid Dreams. It was like, it's time. Let's roll. It's time. You know, you can hold back if you want to, but you don't want to. That's what I was hearing from my higher self, my team. I was hearing, let's go. Let's go. Nothing to hold you back. Nothing but more abundance will come each and every day. And that doesn't mean money. That means magical change, you know, miracle.
And there's nothing wrong if it is money too, because the money is a part of abundance. Money is an energy. Yeah.
I agree with that. You said something a minute ago, and I can't remember what it is now. But yeah, that thing you said about you've been trained. See, so many people, I've picked up on that. I look at these people that have been doing this for 15 and 20 years, and the story with the darkness, the story about being called crazy, you know, going to a psych ward or going to jail, you know, or whatever the case is, all of these injustices and these unfairness. And yeah, I got to the point where I realized, yeah, this was the gift. Man, those times were hard. And when you can look at someone like yourself, or even me, or some of these other people who have been on this show in 900 episodes, and you think, oh, what, you were thinking about checking out? You wrote suicide notes? Yeah, I did. You know, yes, I did.
Yeah.
You know, so we made it. We
did. Oh my God, we did. Oh, and this is party time now, right? This is celebration time. We earned this.
Yeah, this period through the 21st seems to be. This is like, you know, this is, I don't know, it's holy and whole. What did you say a minute ago? Hopefulness. This is like this is an opportunity to really clear everything that we can, and create more space for that pure light and wisdom and courage and love, you know.
And it is like that, and you know, it's like you were sort of saying, yeah, we're going for it. But sorry, that was a bad American accent. But but it's not like I'm going for it, I'm pushing forward. It's actually the opposite now. It's like the more we can just let go and be in beingness and just allow, because this new energy is moving like water. It's divine feminine energy, and it's all about moving like water, right? So it's like our path is already, the path has already been shown. We just, the greatest thing that we can do now is just allow it, keep letting go, and and for whatever that means. And trust it. If there's something that we're clinging to, that it's okay, because we let go of that, and it's all just energy, and new energy will come in that is more supportive to balance that out. So it's such an incredible time to be alive, of deep, and this is where I come back to embodiment. You know, I don't push anything anymore. I don't need to, because I think when you find that balance of the masculine and the feminine, and I seriously recommend people doing this Merkaba meditation in the heart. So I'll explain it to you briefly. You just draw them at the masculine. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's do the meditation.
All right, let's do it.
Or, you know, whatever you think. But I mean, like.
Yeah, no, totally. Let's do it. So just make sure you're sitting straight with a beautiful straight spine, and just make sure that you've maybe got a pillow under your bum so you're comfortable.
I have a pillow under my ass.
Perfect. I nearly set a pillow up your bum. Well, oh, goodness. Am I going to be able to do this and not laugh now? Okay. All right. So we'll close down the eyes. And we'll begin to, let's just begin to focus on the breath, just going very gently through the nose. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna breathe really gently through the nostrils all the way to the end. And as slowly as possible now begin to exhale. And as quietly as possible begin to exhale. And again, deep breath in. As gently and as slowly as possible, and trying to maintain the focus at the nostrils where the air is going in and out. And again. And in the next exhale, just feeling the back of your head relax. And the next exhale, feeling behind the eyes relax. Feeling the shoulders get nice and heavy. Feeling the chest relax. The tummy relax. And the womb, or the other area for men. Feeling the buttocks relax, the legs. Bringing an awareness to the pressure of where your feet are to the earth, to the ground. And just bringing an awareness to where the hands are sitting. And now we're just going to bring our awareness and our attention into the center of the heart, so into the heart chakra area. And we're going to imagine that we're going to be drawing a triangle. Okay, so this triangle is going to be a gold triangle. You can literally, if you want to, physically draw it with your hand. So we're going to draw this triangle. So it's going to sort of end at the throat chakra, and it's going to come down like this. And we're just going to draw it around and around in gold. So this is going to be a gold. So just continue to draw this triangle. So perfecting this beautiful, sacred, divine, masculine energy. And just visualize this triangle becoming brighter the more you go around as it gets brighter and stronger. And now feeling this triangle begin to become beautifully strong. And take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, you can release from the mouth, just imagining that gold is coming out and radiating out from the center of this triangle, and it's expanding outwards. And for a moment, sitting within this golden energy, I want you just to begin to contemplate what divine masculine energy is. So I might say that the divine masculine energy is incredibly honorable. The divine masculine energy holds us in his foundation of love. He is the implementer, the activator. He knows how to move forward with ease and with beingness. He knows how to act upon receiving information. And he is gentle, but he is strong. And so just taking a moment to bring those qualities into this triangle, allowing that beautiful golden triangle to expand more. And now we're going to bring the focus to the divine feminine triangle. So we're going to begin to draw this triangle around. And this triangle is silver energy. So it's a downward facing triangle, and the point of it finishes, the point of it sits at the solar plexus where the inner child is. So just drawing around silver, around this triangle, and feeling this silver energy get stronger and more powerful as you perfect this beautiful divine silver feminine energy. And so just feeling the strengthening of this divine energy of the feminine, the emotionality of the feminine, the flowingness of the feminine, the nurturing of the feminine, the strength of the feminine, the beauty, the creativity, and anything else you personally feel that represents the divine feminine. And so just feeling this beautiful silver energy now really strong, this silver triangle really strong. And now we're going to begin to bring in Father Sky energy. So imagining that you have golden energy that's going now through the very top of your head, from way up above galactically, and it's coming down through the cells of your body, and it's lighting up every cell in the body with beautiful gold divine energy. Father Sky, galactic energy, lighting up each cell in the body, and it's coming down, and it's going to begin to fill up this Merkaba that's now appearing in the heart with this golden energy of Father Sky. And this is what we call outsourcing. When you get drained or depleted, we begin to bring these energies from outside of ourselves, from Father Sky and Mother Earth. So just feeling this Merkaba filled up with this golden energy, and we're going to continue this golden energy now through the tummy, through the body, lighting up all the cells in the body, now bringing it down through the legs, down through the feet, and allowing it to continue through roots in the ground, bringing it down into the Earth Star, which is about 3 feet below your feet, and allowing the Earth Star, which is the feminine Mother Earth energy, to wake up when she feels that masculine energy and begin to light up with silver energy and bring this now up through the roots in the ground, through the feet, feeling it come up into the legs, bringing it up through the buttocks, through that whole area, tummy, bringing it up now into our beautiful sacred Merkaba, which is now becoming very 3D. And feeling the silver energy meld in the 2 triangles. So mixing the divine masculine, divine feminine energies together. And now continuing it up through the body, up through the throat, up through the face, filling up each cell with silver energy and continuing it up through the sky. So you have this divine pillar energy coming down and going up. And now we're going to begin to just focus on the Merkaba for a second, taking a deep breath in. On the exhale, we're going to breathe into this Merkaba, and we're going to expand the golden energy out to about 6 feet around us, front, back, sides, top and bottom. So we're being held in a sphere of gold light, Father energy. And taking another deep breath in. And on the exhale, we're going to expand the silver energy out 3 feet around, front, back, and side. So it's sitting within the Father energy. So it's a silver sphere. And just feeling these energies around you, feeling these energies within the heart, feeling the cleanse that is happening now. As this beautiful Merkaba expands more and more. And now bringing this gold energy back into the Merkaba and bringing the silver energy back into the Merkaba and allowing that Merkaba to stay there. We're going to leave that there and beginning to bring awareness back into the fingers, into the toes, and come back into your body. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes.
That was good. I'm not a meditator.
Oh, okay.
That was good. That was good. I bet, yeah, that was good. I actually saw this gold masculine being appear before me, and then I saw this silver Mother Goddess appear before me.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you're not a meditator with the frequency that you hold.
Well, you know, I don't do well. I'm not a traditional meditator. I'm not a traditional meditator. For me, meditating is going for a long walk, hanging out with the tree, or just nature. I don't know. It's like when I was on the streets and I walked so much, it became a constant communion. So I can just like, you know, it just happens. But if I lay down, I can do it. But I don't do it much. Yeah. I tried to do it today when you said you want to talk about the checking the sound, and I was yeah I was actually like just looking at my hands, like I was saying, my skin. I was like, either have aged or something like is happening to my skin, like in the last 2 weeks, or something's going on.
You don't look like you've aged. You look like you're getting younger.
Yeah. Well, what I thought was that I actually thought when I was laying on the couch, I wasn't thinking about blue aliens or nothing. I was thinking, are you turning into a bird?
Oh, you did think that? Oh my God.
I said, why do I feel like a bird? You know, I don't know, man. It's more of these memories are coming back for everybody. Somebody said a minute ago about telepathy. The telepathy is just like, God, it's just like, I was talking about the last few days. It seems like every for the last week or 10 days, the night before, I'm meeting with the people that are going to be on the shows, and it's like I know what's going to happen already. Yeah, and every one of them keeps getting bigger and bigger and more expanded. Like I am lit up right now. Yeah.
And I have to say, you know, I watched the show you did. I can't remember who it was with, but every time you spoke about the crown chakra or something, every time you started talking about activation stuff, your head would just light up, like this light was just like exploding from you.
Yeah, that stuff happens. Marianne Savino I saw her turn into a panther today.
What?
I saw her face turn into a panther with blue eyes. I've seen a lot of stuff. You know, Grace Solaris, she almost disappeared the first time she came on. These shows are getting more and more impactful. And I'm getting another thing that came in with the masculine thing for me with this whole period, these 3 or 4 days, I've been trying to create the site, get our own stream, get our own server and all that stuff. And it came in like it's done. Like it's done. You don't got nothing to worry about. It's done. And I see these little things happening. Like, for instance, a streaming company, it was very cost prohibitive because it's based on the number of people that watch, right? So they charge you for every single person that's watching the data. And it's expensive, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm not afraid. Well, 3 days ago, I talked to them and they're like, okay, here's the price. And it was 25% of what they told me. And I was like, oh my God. It's like, we can do that. No problem.
Yeah.
So it's all coming together. And I didn't want to talk about it because we had so many false starts. They weren't false starts. We just weren't. My masculine wasn't fully activated or whatever, the creative collective, whatever. But it is going to be multiple channels on a handheld app. And we're going to kick this off very quick. You know, and it's funny because somebody wrote me yesterday and he said, is the big picture to have more shows than just Soul Speaks 5D? I said, yeah, more shows and more channels, right? So I did the math and I can do 21 hours a week, which is a little bit less than I'm doing now, but I need to take a day off every week. And then we need another 19 hours of other people every week. So we will have 40 hours a week to start with. And I really feel like it's going to happen like in the very quick, you know, like in a couple of weeks.
So when you say 19 hours, are you interviewing these people in this 19 hours?
No, for 21 hours I will. 21 hours during the week. So basically 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours, 6 days a week.
Right. So some other people.
then I'll take one day off, and then there'll be 19 hours, so 19 more shows every week, which will probably be 15 to 19 people having 1 hour shows. So we will have 40 hours of programming when we start, and a few other things on the website. So, I mean, like all this stuff just came down, and I swore I wouldn't talk about it, but it feels right to talk about it now. You know, it really does. And I want to start making music again.
Oh, it's time. And speaking of music, the thunder has stopped, the rain, the sun is shining.
It's time. Get your guitar.
Okay. Well, the thing is, okay, the only thing is, I don't know if the sound's going to work. So
it's okay.
If you can give me some sort of signal if it's going weird.
It's good. It'll be good.
It's Sia. Oh my God, that is so. She's written. I'm so excited. I nearly peed my pants.
Who said that? Sia.
So cute. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to have to take these headphones out. We've tried to deal with a microphone, but apparently I was getting less feedback. So I have no idea what the sound is like.
Is the headphone going to be your microphone or the computer?
No, I'm going to have to take it out, I reckon. Because
you know what I did was I would just I still used it as a microphone when I used to do it, because I did it all kinds of ways. But if you're using this as a microphone, it's coming in good.
But I want to see if is it going to pick up my guitar and everything?
Like, yeah. These are.
How about we try it? How about we test it?
These are really good, and I learned this over the years when I was having to improvise. But no, you can take the headphones out, but I would just keep this.
No,
somewhere.
But the thing is, I want you to do a little bit of a rap at the end. I'm going to leave a bit of room for you to.
To your melody.
Right. I'm going to give you some room with the guitar is just going to, because you thought you were throwing me on the spot, but I'm going to throw you on the spot.
Yeah, you're going to throw me on the spot. Okay.
Yeah, he writes to me and he goes, oh, what did you say? Something really cheeky about throwing me on the spot or something.
Well, I just knew you were going to, I didn't know you were a singer until I reread your bio, and I thought, oh, she's a singer. Let me get her to sing. Right?
All right. So, you know what? How about I'm going to just start playing, and I'm not going to play. This is just going to be a test, okay? Is that really loud, or how does that sound?
That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. All right.
If this is your microphone, you probably could even lay it down. It's loud. It's good. But it's good the way it is.
Okay, I'll just leave it on because it's fine. It's fine for me. So this song came through. The thunders are coming through, even though the sun is shining. So we've probably got rainbows out there. The weather's very confused. Anyway, this song came through. It's called Diamonds from Coal, and
Diamonds from Coal.
Diamonds from Coal, and like a lot of my songs, most of my songs actually, it's very much about this time and what we've broken through and what we're moving into. Is Anna here? Anna Arena? Yes. I'm going to dedicate this song to Anna Arena because she had an experience with this song that she found on my business page. And as she was telling me about it, she was in tears. And that woman, she's so beautiful and she's so in her emotions. And, she woke up at 5 o'clock this morning to listen to this interview. So I just thought I needed to dedicate this to her today.
Very cool.
So I'm going to leave the end bit for you. I'll just call your name out, okay?
You're going to just call my name out?
Yeah. Lost in the skies of the world, do you see me now? You won't be told. Sound okay? How to be afraid. All the room just to find where you came from and turn away. Fool, you won't buy to the blind ones no more. No more. See me and now you are be told I'll be right through justified from that turn away fool. No, you won't run to the blind unknown boy. No more, but to know silence like that, like coward, silence too late, that we were all we were told. Mary died, done learned from cold. Oh, done learned from cold.
Oh my God. Am I supposed to go after that?
Yeah.
Keep strumming. All right. As below, okay. As below, rise above. Heart of hearts can't be contained. Always remain. Never the same. Better than fortune's blinded shames. World house, fruitless fame. So what's your game? Let go. Let life power up. Free up the vortex of reality. Ego burns in effigy. That's you standing right next to me. Clear the lines of differentiality. Oneness doesn't fear individuality. Open to antiquity. Laughing love in heaven's humorosity. I life, I love projectionality, regain personality, human hospitality, found the Tao in me, from the A and Amen to the Z and Zen, scriptures, lectures, lessons, conjecture, rapture, captured, factual, enraptured, love the natural, elementary, heaven, hybrid, DNA, halo, apothecary, always revolutionary, never stationary, uncontainable, always attainable, loving the flavor of the soul, love, spirit, destiny, solution, freedom, penetrate, shadow pieces, darkness, light, ashes, creates the phoenix, flight, fullest love, containment, freeze, attainment, refrain the lies, you hear you, hold your space, remain, watch the heart space, clear all the same, sacred body, eclectic, electric, Hopi, hippie, eclectic, sacred, geometric, powerful, reflective, never neglected, always accepted. I love you. That's it. That was incredible. I was just, I really pride myself on putting people on the spot. And I've had such a great time over the years doing stuff spontaneously. I tell people, read this poem to me and send me the audio and I'll find some music, and some incredible stuff was created and beautiful, and it was such a pleasure putting it together. But I never had somebody flip it on me like that. but it was, and that's what I mean. I remember I was about 7 or 8 Soul Speaks into creating them by myself in my studio. And I had a friend from the streets that was that is as prolific a rapper as anyone that you could think of, anybody. And I did one called Boy to a Man, and he called me up and he said, you're getting it. I said, dude, I don't even know what I'm doing. Everyone I do is on one take. And he said, Todd, there's never a better one than the first take. So there's something about spontaneity that's such a clear channel and a conduit, creates a conduit and clear channel for us, for all of us. You know, it's a physical representation, an actionable representation of our non-physical essence. You know, wow, what a great way to end the show. Thank you for allowing me to be part of that.
Oh, thank you so much for being a part of it. And, you know, my intention, again, because I felt that the first show, and it's okay, I forgive myself. The first show, I guess I was introducing myself. I was talking about myself. But when I watched back, I was like, oh, I kind of kept talking over you. And I kind of, you know, it was all about me and my story, which is great. I think that's what we do in the first show. But I really brought this intention for this show for me was to have a conversation with you and it be about us, you know. So
I had no idea we were going to do anything like that. And I was just talking to, who was I talking to? Michael Fox. Is Michael on here? Michael and his wife, Carrie. And I said, I've always had this thing, because I've done a lot of broadcasts. I used to do them in the old days. I used to do them every night, you know, and they were wild. They go 2,000-3,000 people would come in and they were just wild. And it was a lot of fun because it was improvisational. It was spontaneous. And I told him, I said, I've always wanted to, because if everybody could just get, you know, an interface and a mic and that's all you need. And then just actually have a jam, have like an open mic and just do that like once a week and everybody come in and just, I've always wanted to do that online. So maybe we could play with that idea.
Let's do it. And I'm going to come visit you guys in Hawaii. You know that, right? Probably this year.
Really?
I've already to that. Yeah, totally.
I just moved in last night to our new apartment, and we've been blessed. It's a little bit hollow in here. It's just me and the little spirits that have been around for the last couple of days. I'm not really sure.
Oh wow! Oh really? Okay, you've got visitors.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
so Morgan's going to come back to the house.
Yeah. Well, when she comes back, there'll probably be more spirits. But that's usually what happens. I think they're kind of like telling me, and I told her that. I was like, I think they're saying you don't need to wait on her. She's like, well, you've probably got something you need to do. And then, you know, so I don't know. But today I was down. I mean, I was in between shows and I was slaying on the couch. It wasn't after the one when we talked. It was the one before, and this big white like cloud thing went across the room.
Oh,
it was about.
How does that make you feel?
Well, I'm used to it.
So you see spirits and stuff, do you?
Oh yeah. I've seen a lot of stuff. Yeah. I've been talking about it. I mean, we've been talking about it for a long. Oh yeah, we had ETs come into the room.
I've heard about the Greys and all this stuff.
Yeah, we had last summer. We had ETs come into the room and materialize. I had two aspects actually walk into my body, you know, and I found out later it was a Syrian aspect and an Alpha Centaurian aspect. But when I started 7 years ago, I saw a lot of stuff. I saw some.
Sorry, I'm just going to say this though. I mean, I had a Syrian being, a lower entity Syrian being step into my body probably about 20 years ago and try and speak through me and try and see out of my eyes. So anything that thinks it has the right to step into your body without asking permission has no right to be there. You know that, right?
Well, this was I was out of context. This was actually we had these that never happened until it actually happened when Soulogy came and talked to us. And there was a lot of Pleiadian stuff going on. Merlin came. Look, this is stuff we both saw. We both sat there and looked at each other, and our faces morphed for about 45 minutes into all these different incarnations, on planet, off universe. But this particular one had something to do with, they came in the room, and so they came in the room. Like, imagine being surrounded by a bunch of dudes, right? And I'm from the streets, so I'm like looking at him, and I'm looking at her, and she's like shaking, and I'm shaking because I'm cold. Like, it was cold in there. I wasn't scared. And I'm looking at him like, I'm looking him right in the eye, and I'm going, you know, I'm not trusting you, and I'm not trusting you. I'm just keeping my eye on you, right? Well, when they came around, I felt nothing but pure intention, you know. And I found out later, about a month later, I found out it was a Syrian aspect. Me. It was me. And the other one was, and they were both two had been talking to me, and they explained to me, that's what happened that night, you know. Yeah, it was a little bit trippy. but back 7 years ago, I saw a lot of stuff. Like a 12-foot angel appeared, clouds came down from the sky and passed through me. This boy appeared to me when I first woke up. He had passed away at 14. Yeah, I had a lot of stuff happen. Yeah.
So this was at around 2012, yeah?
2000, yeah, it was May 30th, 2011. It started with Jesus appeared to me in the trees. That's how it started. And he was laughing at me. I was dancing in my backyard. I was teaching myself how to dance at 50 years old. And he appeared in the trees. This big light came through the trees, and then I look up, and it's his face, and he's like all white, and he's smiling at me. He's laughing, and I was like at the end of my rope, man. I mean, I was like mentally, emotionally, physically. I had 4 kids in the house. I had a wife who was very sick, and all this pressure. And so I'm teaching myself to dance because that was my outlet. My guitars were broken and such. So I look up at him and I said, "What's going on?" And he says, "I don't know what you're worried about, but I've been standing over your family for 2.5 years." Now, 2.5 years earlier, my wife tried to kill herself eating 50 sleeping pills. And I was just like, wow. Now, later on, I realized it was an apparition of my higher self. It was an aspect of me, but I knew it wasn't the Jesus in the Bible. It was the Christ, cosmic Christ, right? But when he said it, there was like this wave just went from head to foot. And I was like, wow, yeah, you're right, man. And then I look back up at him, and he's laughing harder, right? And I said, quote unquote, I said, "What's up with that?" He said, "You're the one of the unshakable faith. Now we're going to find out. Everything's about to flip." And and then he said, "You will never be alone, and you will never be forsaken." And it was like somebody said to me, "Pass the butter," you know. It was that relaxed. And I went upstairs, and I went to sleep for the last time with my family. I got up the next morning. I was taken to jail. I came home a day and a half later, and everybody was gone. And everybody was gone. And I went on the streets for 2 years. So on the streets, I had these things happen all the time, but I thought I knew I was seeing this stuff, but I was so shadowed, and everybody thought I was crazy, and I was raising hell, dancing in the clubs every night, getting drunk, and, you know, fighting and all that stuff. So there a lot of reptilian energy was around me. I took some whoopings and I gave some whoopings, and, you know, it's just, yeah, it was so, but, you know, it's amazing. All of our stories are amazing, but.
And look where you are now. Look what you're doing. Sorry. Look where you are now. I mean, look what you're doing. Oh my God.
Right? Yeah. It has been. But I listened to the stories like Gayatri's here, you know, the thing with the dragons last night, Marita, you know, that all of us were estranged from our families. You said it a minute ago. You had to give up everything you loved. And I was going to say that a minute ago. I feel I feel very fortunate that I let go of my family. I had 6 kids, and I let go of them by choosing myself, you know. I feel very
hardest. With the children, that is the hardest thing
to do.
I cannot even begin to.
It is the absolute hardest.
No.
And it really, yeah. Last night in dream state, in lucid dream state, I was with my 2 boys. I have 2 boys and 3 girls biologically, and one I adopted, 4 girls. I don't talk to any of them. not that we're on bad terms. It's just maybe one or two are, but they don't want to talk to me. But I was with them in lucid dreams, and we were healing. You know, we were aligning people. We were healing people. We were helping people, like you were talking about. And I woke up this morning knowing that everything's okay. You know, everything's all right. So I think that's the energy we're all into.
I think that's where it's got to come from. I mean, I have I've had to connect with my son on tried to connect with him on higher levels. I think what's been quite devastating for me is that I just can't really feel him anymore. Yeah, but I've personally worked out a way to compartmentalize it so that I could keep moving forward, because I couldn't move forward while holding on. You know what I mean? I couldn't, and I couldn't do my mission. And I've just been shown again and again, and it sounds crazy, but your mission is bigger. Your mission is bigger, and he's made his choices, and you have to let him go because he's made his choices. And just like it sounds like you've had a similar journey under the influence of someone else. You know, your kids are under the influence of someone, and they're doing this. And you can't do anything about it because they're being manipulated. And so that is the dark side. That's like the extreme of the dark side that we've had to somehow wear and break through to Todd be doing this work that we're doing. And look at the impact that you're making from what you've broken out of. And I'm just so incredibly grateful for that and your journey, and that you kept on choosing the light even though you kept falling. Because that's just what we have to honor in ourselves, and what we're doing and what we've done here.
Well, I had a lot of cursing matches with the universe. But I tell you, right. You know, the thing is, I know they're all they all keep an eye on it, right? And so it's like that, and I'm sure everybody, because I see some comments, everybody can relate. It's like the family, and it's a big Mexican family, right? They have a story, and then I'm over here by myself, right? And
there's no communication. It's just ideas. There's just them and their judgments. There's no communication, right? So you can't do anything about it because they don't communicate.
But when Morgan came the first time in 2000, I don't know, God, what was it, 17? So we went to my hometown, and it was a lot of stuff. I had to do a lot of shadow work, and that's a long story. But we ended up meeting up with 3 of my kids, right? And I didn't know this. They told her all night, Dad's crazy. I mean, he lost his fucking mind. I mean, he went off the deep end, you know. We hope you know, we'll hang out with him. And if you don't, we understand, because he's fucking nut, right? And so we went to dinner, and then we went to my daughter's clubhouse in her apartment. We got a few beers, and we sat by the pool. And there was a moment where they were all sitting at this bar in the clubhouse, and I was behind it. And they said, because I'd probably done like 1,500 videos by then, you know, from the studio. And they were like, Dad, get up and do your Soulogy thing. So I did. So I got up this time to do this Soulogy. And I said, the first thing I want to tell you is, I'm sorry if I hurt you, you know. And then it was like from that point on. But I think it's, you know, it's every one of us are going through it, and everything's okay. It really is. I'm not just saying that, it is. I saw it in the lucid dream last night. We're connected to them. We're all playing roles here. And like you said, we've got to respect their journeys and allow them to heal themselves and have their own path. Just as that's sovereignty. You know, we have to respect each other and love each other. So how did this all turn into this? But that's okay. That's
I don't know, but it's all perfect. I mean, even you know, it's all perfect. However, it's unraveling.
Absolutely, it is. So you want to get together again?
I would so love to do that.
Yeah, like in the first part of April.
Yeah, that's pretty soon. But yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Let's do it again. Like you know, anytime after like the 5th or 6th. You know,
I would love that.
Okay, so we'll do the same time, and then you just shoot me a date, because I'm just filling up April now, and there won't be any overlap. If you shoot me a date,
me to shoot you a date. So the 5th or the 6th at 3 p.m.
Okay.
Or did you want to do 2 p.m.?
Can you send it to me? 2 p.m. Same time as now.
Do you want me to be Morgan while she's gone for a second?
No. I don't have my calendar with me. So I'm in the old department.
Okay, beautiful. I'll send that through. Yep, no worries.
Yeah, I'll remember. I remember. So 2 p.m. Whatever the time was, I don't know what the time was there.
Yeah,
and,
well, you thought it was 2, but we'd organised it for 3, so we can do. I think 2 is probably better because that means that people in Europe can join it possibly at 6 a.m. It's easier for them than 5 a.m.
Okay,
so
2. All right, so 2.
So we'll say 2 p.m.
Whatever you say, just send the date and the time, and I got you. And we'll put something together. Yeah, this is cool. There's a lot of things coming together, and I see a lot of people coming in, and I see a lot of people that are going to be doing their own shows, and that's really cool. How do you get on my show? Sherry Matt said, just send me a message.
Oh, Sherry. Yes, darling. Do that.
Yeah, send me a message. Anybody just send me a message or send Morgan one. It's probably not a great idea to send them to me, but right now it's probably better to send them to me right now. So, and then anyone that sends me one, if I don't answer, just stay after me because I'm doing the best I can. We are about to move to an automated calendar, which will make it easier.
Plus, you've moved house and all this as well. Like you're still doing shows, but you've sort of moved house.
Wow. Well, I just had to move across the building. With whom are you speaking with? I don't know. Oh, this is Sasha Grace right here. Here we go.
Oh, I am Sasha Grace.
Oh, why didn't
who am I speaking with? I am Sasha Grace. Yeah.
Okay, I got it. All right. Thank you. Love you. Appreciate you. All of you. Thank you for your love and support contribution.
So much love to you, Todd. Thank you so very much. And thank you so much. And thank you so much, everybody. I really feel so held by you all. You know, since the first show, it's been such an honor to be just to feel you all around me, actually. And it's worldwide. This is a worldwide mycelium network, which is just incredible. So, yes.
Man, there was so many people from so many obscure places last night on the Gaia Tree show. Susan Marie, send me a note too, please. I meant to do that. It's on my list. It's a mile long. Just pick a date in April, excluding Tuesdays. I'm just letting her know because I saw her face. Sasha, thank you so much for allowing me to participate in your incredible song. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for letting it debut because no one's really heard it, and you were a part of the debut, and it was perfect. And I think we should probably have you recorded at the, in there too, maybe because it's got to be recorded properly. So
yeah, we could do something with that. We can do something with that. I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up, and I'm gonna get Michael. Michael will already know because he's doing this. Michael will cut out that song and he'll put it as a separate video on YouTube and Facebook.
That would be amazing, Michael. That would be amazing if you could help us out there. That would be incredible.
Yeah, he'll do it. Right. All right. I'll see you later.
All right. Bye-bye. So much love.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.